Hello, my name is Andreas Goldemann. I'm a coach and trainer and a medical intuitive. I'm working with a lot of Unity churches and a lot of corporations to teach conscious awareness over the whole United States. We can say even over the whole world. Sometimes I'm in Germany, in Switzerland, in Austria, and other parts of the world. What I do with the Project Consciousness seminars is that I bring a high awareness back in everyday life so that you can start to dance in your life again. It's so simple. The moment we begin to go back into alignment with ourselves, we can make the conscious decisions and really realize what we want to experience in everyday life.
Andreas, what does a medical intuitive do?
I'm a medical intuitive, and a medical intuitive usually is there to help you to reflect the requested need that your body wants. If you, for example, have pain in a shoulder, a medical intuitive gives you back the reflection that your consciousness is asking for, so that you be reminded in a way, and so that your body can come back in alignment on its own way. So, for example, in my way, I'm working with sound, and I'm working with certain kind of movements. These movements are helping to remind your consciousness to shift back. So if somebody, for example, I am working with a neck of a person and the neck is out of alignment, in the so-called body matrix, you have a physical body and you have a matrix, a hologram of four-dimensional intelligence that contains all the information about your being. If there is damage in your body, if there is something unstructured in your body, it contains also the damage. What I do as the intuitive, I take the damage out of the hologram. And because of this, your body follows immediately. This is quantum physics. The moment we turn the one particle, the sister particle, the brother follows immediately. So I would go and, for example, do an adjustment in your neck area and give the information over, and your body follows immediately. It is work with reflection. It does not work with it does not work with direct manipulation. The importance here is to understand that an intuitive doesn't manipulate. An intuitive is the living reminder of the consciousness you have forgotten about. So we can say we are teachers. We teach you back in alignment. And the major work is not done by the intuitive. The healer is not the intuitive. The healer is always the respective person that comes back in alignment through itself, but it needs the information. The person needs the information to really slowly shift back, and this can happen within a split of a second. Sometimes it needs a little bit longer time, but it's very effective.
So you discussed the physical body and the holographic body. Are there others?
There are other bodies. We have at least 5 bodies we are talking about in this spiritual work. We can say we have a spiritual body, we have an energetic body, we have a mental body, we have a light body, which is very, very important, and we have a physical body. Our physical body is actually the one that is stable. In our heart, we have a center point. We have this tiny little point in the sinus knot. Sinus, I think you spell it sinus knot in America, and there are all our bodies are overlapping. This is actually the seat of the soul in our heart. So the moment we can bring back all the bodies in alignment in the sinus knot, they're overlapping totally, and the person feels whole, totally full in energy, but also calm, relaxed, in total awareness. We can say in a state of isness, in a state of acceptance of everything that is. And this is actually the first step to go into unconditional love with yourself, to go into a state of enlightenment, we can say. But it needs this overlapping of the bodies. If we are scattered and all over the place, and we all have heard this term that we have said, oh, you are all over the place, then we are just not in alignment. So it's time to come back. As an intuitive, I help to experience this through the alignment of the spine, because in our spine there's so much energy, and it needs to be aligned, especially at the atlas and down there at the tailbone. And the moment we align the spine, the energy field is already overlapping more. And then I do a certain kind of Celtic intonation singing to bring back the bodies into the center point. And when they slip into each other, usually everything is good. When we have had judgment before about a certain situation, when we were in stress about a certain situation before, after this, usually it's totally gone. We are totally aligned. Yeah.
So in this weekend seminar or workshop, I would learn practices that would help me become present quickly and whenever I needed to.
In our 2.5-day workshops, we usually learn to come into a real presence. Now, why is this so important? Because in everyday life we are very, very often thrown around from A to B. Everybody wants something, and we want to already do the things that might happen five hours later. And in our mind we are already so much there. And because of this, we lose the present moment. And with losing this present moment, we are losing a lot of energy. Our chakra system, our energy system actually goes down to 5 to 8% of energy, feeding our body not any longer in a normal way. It just goes down to this minimum of energy in survival mode. In a present state, where I am, I'm in full energy. Only here is energy. Everything is just a different time, which is not important. But because of our interesting mind, we have so much trouble to come into this quietness, into the stillness, to feel ourselves. In the Project Consciousness seminars, we learn techniques that bring us within splits of seconds, through body postures, through working with each other, within splits of seconds in this consciousness of I am. And then I can make the conscious decision where I want to be or what I want to do in my everyday life, so that my life quality gains tremendously. It is really important that we come back into this state of making our own decisions without being reactive or proactive to life. This is what we do.
So would you recommend this weekend workshop for spiritual or metaphysical practitioners, or for the everyday person looking to find more presence in their life?
If it comes to the attendances, the main attendances we have are actually practitioners and teachers and healers or therapists, doctors, dentists that come into the seminars because they realize they lose so much energy with working with the client. Now, as long as we are not totally present, we have very often the problem that our energy field is not closed. And we feel this infringement of other people on our energy system. Now, what we learn within this 2.5 days is total independency. It's an autonomous system that is you later, and you can choose whatever you want to do. And the interesting part is that you feel very, very powerful, and on the other hand, very, very relaxed. It's almost like you're laid back with the full idea of I'm a creator, I can do whatever I want to do, but also I don't need to do anything. This is so interesting that it is a state of full acceptance and so much peace. But it's very interesting to experience this with this possibility to decide whatever you want to decide. There is the real power of creation coming out of it, because the moment we are in peace, we are so much more centered in our heart. And our heart is such a much, much stronger source for creating life than our brain and our thought patterns and our emotions. So the moment we are in ourselves, we can play with this so easily. And it's almost like we're sitting in a sandbox like little children, playing in creation to create life in a totally playful way, without any stress, without any effort. It just goes with the flow. For me, this is extremely efficient. I'm German. I'm used to working hard and all these things, but after a period of time, I just said, this is no fun. This is not how life makes fun. I'm coming out of the corporate world. Now I'm working on as a spiritual advisor and teacher, and I realize how much joy is behind it, because I put minimum input into my work and I get a maximum output. And this is a principle that we can use in everyday life. Everyone could use this. At school, as children, or in work as the mother running after the children, or the father, or the business manager who says, I really need to realize how much I can do without so much effort. It's fun, it's so much joy.
Well, speaking of business managers, and you're from Europe, do you know of any major companies that have embraced these teachings in the training of their employees?
I come out of the training of Mercedes-Benz, Siemens, Sony, Porsche. I was working with the corporate world over there in stress management, a lot of teachings with the chambers of commerce over there, with the Ministry of Industry. So it's very interesting that more and more companies in Europe integrate spiritual teachings and energetic teachings, Qi workshops, into their departments, so that the art of communication is just so much better. Now imagine, how would it be for you if you have a company and you pay six weeks of sick leave, like we pay in Germany, and you have 100% of sick leave, and I can lower your rate of sick leave to 50% or to even 30%, so that less people get sick, less people are avoiding work instead of going to work with lots of joy. We really get the people to the point that on Sunday evening they're looking forward for Monday, because they have fun and joy to work with their colleagues. They're working in a team, they're realizing that there is so much more possibility to use creativity, and all these aspects come in. So we can say a lot of the European companies are very open to it, because we just have a different healthcare system. And if the American companies would react in the same way, it would be pretty smart, because they could even afford so much more healthcare for their employees. Our normal return on investment, if it comes to corporate health, integrating Qi workshops and all these things into the companies, was about 1 to 10.